Well, the Boston series turned out kind of how I thought it would turn out, unfortunately, sort of unfortunately for the A's. But I really shouldn't say that because they did take two or three from a really hot and pretty good Boston Red Sox team. Chris Bassett started the first game pretty well. 7 innings on less than 100 pitches. He was pretty efficient with 10 strikeouts. He really kept the Red Sox off the board. The second game, we manufactured some runs with some pretty unconventional base running from Elvis Andrus and some great pitching from James Kapralian. It was his first major league start. He had pitched a few innings last season out of relief and got touched up a bit, but he really held his own here in the second game of the series, and he had his dad watching in the stands. Really an emotional game for the Kapralian family. And if you haven't read about their story already, it's definitely worth a read, learning about what James Kapralian went through with all the setbacks and losing his mom. And well, the A's played off a pretty good set of games here. Got 2 out of 3, like I said, and Shamanaya got touched up. He has horrible numbers in Fenway, and those numbers continued to show. He was pretty bad. I think it's just a fluke start. Something at Fenway does not sit well with him. But the A's went to Minnesota the very next day. I don't remember the calendar days, but I think it was the very next day. And they had a home run fest. All the runs were scored on home runs. Frankie Montas pitched great. And Matt Chapman makes this Josh Donaldson tarp-esque play, flashbacks to 2013. And the A's led that game for 8 innings. And they ended up losing. Bullpen couldn't hold it down. That was one of the worst losses of the season so far, without a doubt. Moving on to today's game. Dreading the start of this one. It just felt like it was going to end up like yesterday's game. The A's just could not catch a break with the replay system and umpires in general. Some iffy plays and iffy calls from the replay center. It just looked like a doomed start right out of the gate for the A's. It didn't look like they had much chance in this one. That's an exaggeration. They were down 4-1 in the fifth inning, scrapping back in Elvis Andrus with a great heads-up base running play to tie the game in the fifth, and the A's would take the lead later on, and they would give the lead right back, but then they would take it again in the ninth. Just a great, salvageable game. It was sloppy, but at least they won, and now we have Houston up next.